I am 74 years old. I live under the bridge on 4th Street. The concrete is cold. The cars above me sound like thunder. I was not always a ghost. I was a man of logic. I was a man of science. My name used to mean something in a laboratory. Now it means nothing at all. I have nothing left. I sit in the dirt and watch the world move. People look at me and see a failure. They see a man who lost his way. They do not see the mind that once mapped the stars. I have a net worth of $0. But my debt to the world is too high to pay. The silence here is loud. It is enough to break your bones. I would trade every cent just to sleep through the night. I grew up in a house full of books. I was the golden child. My brain was a machine. I saw patterns in the stars. I saw beauty in calculus. I believed that my mind made me a god. I thought I was better than everyone else. I treated people like variables. I treated love like an equation. I was wrong about everything. My father was a simple man. He worked in a factory. I looked down on him. I thought his hands were dirty. I thought his mind was slow. I did not see his sacrifice. I left home and never looked back. I thought I was moving toward greatness. I was moving toward an empty room. I worked at the Goddard Space Flight Center. My title was Senior Propulsion Engineer. I spent my days mapping the sky. I spent my nights dreaming of cold metal. I had a wife named Sarah. She was kind. She was warm. She was soft. I was cold. I was hard. I was made of math. She would ask me to stay for dinner. I would tell her I was too busy. I told her the mission was more important. I believed my own lies. I sat in meetings while she sat in silence. I calculated thrust while she calculated the cost of our marriage. I thought I was building a legacy. I was just building a wall. The mission was not the problem. My ego was the problem. I wanted to be the smartest man in the room. I wanted the world to see my brilliance. I worked 80 hours every week. I missed every birthday. I missed every anniversary. I missed the way my wife looked at me. She stopped looking at me with love. She started looking at me with pity. I hated that look. I chose the office over her. I chose the stars over the earth. I remember one night in July, she had cooked a special meal for our anniversary. I stayed at the lab until midnight. I came home to a cold plate. I did not apologize. I felt like a martyr for science. I was just a selfish man in a tie. I had a son named Michael. He wanted to play catch. He wanted to show me his drawings. I told him to go away. I told him I was busy with important things. I was designing engines for rockets. I was making sure metal could fly. I was not making sure my son felt loved. I was a genius at physics. I was an idiot at being a father. I remember his graduation. I was in a hangar in Florida. I watched a screen instead of his face. I told myself he would understand. He did not understand. He was lonely. He grew up and stopped calling. I did not even notice for a long time. I was too busy being a hero to strangers. Sarah left me in 1994. She did not yell. She just packed a bag. She told me I was already gone. She said I was a ghost in a suit. I did not care at the time. I felt free. I had more time for the lab. I had more time for the mission. I thought my work would hold me at night. I thought my awards would keep me warm. I was a fool. The house was too quiet. I bought a bigger television. I bought a faster car. I tried to fill the holes in my soul with things. But things do not speak. Things do not love you back. I was a man of logic who could not see the truth. I made a mistake in 1999. It was a small error. A decimal point was in the wrong place. My arrogance blinded me. A junior engineer tried to tell me. I laughed at him. I called him incompetent. I pushed the data through. The engine failed on the test stand. Millions of dollars turned into smoke. My reputation vanished in a second. The agency did not care about my past. They fired me. They took my badge. I walked out of the gates and realized I had nowhere to go. I had no friends to call. I had no family to hold. I was just a man with a box of old papers. I thought I would find another job. I was a NASA engineer. I was the best. But I had burnt every bridge. I had mocked every peer. I had insulted every friend. No one would hire me. They knew I was a toxic man. They knew my ego was a liability. I sat in my big house. I waited for the phone to ring. It never rang. The silence was a cage. I spent my days walking through empty rooms. I looked at the photos on the wall. I did not recognize the man in the pictures. He looked successful. He was a liar. I started to see the waste of my life. I started to drink. I told myself it was for the stress. I spent my savings on expensive scotch. I spent my nights talking to the walls. I tried to call Sarah, she had changed her number. I tried to find Michael, he was a stranger. He had a wife and a child. I was a grandfather and I did not know it. I sat in the dark and drank until the sun came up. I was trying to drown the guilt. But guilt knows how to swim. I was trying to forget the faces of the people I hurt. I was a genius who could not solve his own life. The bank took the house in 2008. I moved into a small apartment. Then I moved into a motel. Then I moved into my car. I sold my books. I sold my watches. I sold my soul for another bottle. My mind began to fray. The math stopped making sense. I realized that my intelligence was a gift. I had used it as a weapon. I had used it to isolate myself. I used to solve the hardest problems in the world. Now I cannot solve how to stay warm. I cannot solve how to get my family back. I am a man who spent his life looking up. I forgot to look at what was right in front of me. I have lived under this bridge for 6 years. I own a sleeping bag. I own a plastic crate. Most people walk past me. They see a failure. They do not see the engineer. I am just a shadow. I am a warning. I am the result of pride. I spend my days watching the river. It does not stop. It does not look back. Time is like that river. It only goes one way. I tried to swim against it. I tried to control it. Now I am just drowning in it. Last night it rained. The water leaked through the concrete. My bones ached. A young man stopped. He looked like Michael. He gave me a $5 bill. He asked me what happened. I told him I was a genius. He smiled sadly. He walked away. He thought I was crazy. Maybe I am crazy. But I am finally honest. I am finally seeing the world for what it is. It is not a series of numbers. It is a series of moments. I missed almost all of mine. I was waiting for the glory. I missed the small beauty of a Tuesday morning. I missed the sound of a child laughing. I am dying now. I can feel it in my chest. My heart is tired. My lungs are heavy. I have spent 70 years being right. I would give anything to have been kind instead. I would trade every equation for one hug. I would trade the stars for a seat at Sarah's table. I was smart enough to reach space. I was not smart enough to stay home. I look at my hands. They are stained and shaking. These hands once designed parts for the space shuttle. Now they struggle to hold a piece of bread. This is the end of my story. It is a quiet exit in the dark. You are watching this on a screen. You think you have time. You think your career matters. It does not. Your job will forget you in a week. Your money will go to a stranger. Your pride will leave you in the dirt. Look at the person next to you. Listen to their voice. Put down your phone. Stop being so important. Your importance is a trap. It will eat your life and leave you empty. I know this because I am the ghost. I am the man who had everything and understood nothing. I am the smartest man in the graveyard. The math of my life is simple now. I added up my achievements, I subtracted my people. The result is 0. I am leaving this world with nothing. No one will cry at my funeral. No one will claim my body. I will be buried in a field with a number. That is the price of my ego. That is the cost of being the smartest man in the room. Fix your life. Fix it today, before you end up like me. Under a bridge, alone, with nothing but the truth. It is too late for me. It is not too late for you. Do not wait for the end to start living. Go home, be a human. Forget the stars. Love the people on the ground. That is the only mission that matters. I was a NASA engineer. Now I am just a man who is sorry. Please, do not be like me.